And welcome back, everybody. 31 days through the Proverbs. We're on day 23. Proverbs 23. So let's go ahead and jump into the text. Proverbs 23 today as we make our way through the book, getting closer to the end. Proverbs 23, starting in verse 1. When you sit down to dine with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are a man of great appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for it is deceptive food. Do not weary yourself to gain wealth. Cease from your consideration of it. When you set your eyes on it, it is gone. For wealth certainly makes itself wings like an eagle that flies towards the heavens. Do not eat the bread of a selfish man, or desire his delicacies. For as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten, and waste your compliments. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Do not move the ancient boundary, or go into the fields of the fatherless. For the Redeemer is strong, he will plead their case against you. Apply the heart to discipline, and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not hold back discipline from the child. Although you strike him with the rod, he will not die. You shall strike him with the rod and rescue his soul from Sheol. My son, if your heart is wise, my own heart also will be glad. In my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Listen, my son, and be wise, and direct your heart in the way. Do not be with heavy drinkers of wine, or with gluttonous eaters of meat. For the heavy drinker and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe one with rags. Listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth, and do not sell it. Get wisdom, and instruction, and understanding. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who sires a wise son will be glad in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her rejoice who gave birth to you. Give me your heart, my son, and let my eyes delight in my ways. For a harlot is a deep pit, and an adulterous woman is a narrow well. Surely she lurks as a robber, and increases the faithless among men. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaining? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? Those who linger over wine, those who go to taste mixed wine. Do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. At the last it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your mind will utter perverse things. And you will be like one who lies down in the middle of the sea, or one who lies down on top of a mast. They struck me, and I did not become ill. They beat me, and I did not know it. When shall I awake? I will seek another drink. Proverbs 23, boy, I tell you, it is just a collection of a bunch of different themes. And I was reading through it. I read through it multiple times, probably 2-3 times, trying to come up with the key verses for me, because there were definitely a lot of themes. Gluttony, drunkenness, adultery, laziness, lack of wisdom. It's almost like a summary of the previous Proverbs that we've hit before. But as I was thinking that, these verses jumped out at me. 3 of them, actually. Verse 12, apply your heart to discipline and your ears to words of knowledge. Verse 17, do not let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Boy, that's a key there, and maybe that's a central theme of this proverb. Proverbs 23 might be verse 17, at least to me that jumps out pretty strong. It's tough, even in today, as you look at the people around you, right? Do you find at times that your heart is envying the sinner? That's something that everybody really needs to evaluate for themselves and look deep inside themselves and decide, do you feel pity upon the sinner, or do you have a little bit of envy for them? Maybe they have a lot of money, they have a lot of nice things. As we read in the proverb, right, they have the choicest wine, the choicest meats, the choicest foods, but yet their heart's against the Lord. Verse 23 then really anchored it for me. Buy truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom and instruction and understanding. I think that probably says enough for it for me. Look at verse 23, and that wraps it up, and that can be a solution to the challenges that we have living in this world and throughout all times. Keep in mind that these Proverbs are not just good for today, but they've been good throughout all time. So the challenges and the problems and the struggles that we have today have been experienced by those trying to follow the Lord their entire life and throughout the course of history. Good things to think about, good things to dwell on in our minds. That'll bring us to an end of Proverbs 23. God bless you. I pray you're all doing well and look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we hit 24. God bless now. Take care.